Oh, hello and welcome back, and thank you so much for clicking on my video, my fellow chess enthusiast. What we're going to be doing in today's episode is the Caro Kann against an 1862, and it looks like we might be having the alien gambit in the position. Will he go for it? He does not. We go to the Tartakower, which is just a great option for me because the plans for black are pretty much as easy as it gets. We develop the bishop. We're going to go for a castle this way. You put the rook on the same file as this guy. We're not going to pin the knight, I believe, because he put the bishop here. So there's no actual pin. So there's no real reason to be doing that. I think we develop this guy first. If he pushes the pawn again, then he's threatening this fork. So sometimes you'll play this, and then that will happen. But we're going to step back, and there is a chance that we get the pawn cube structure. Look at us go. Beautiful pawn cube on the board right now. We're going to put the rook over here. That was still the game plan. I was supposed to play that. I was supposed to play that all along, so we're going to go ahead and do it now. And, like, I mean, if I push, essentially he's just going to play this. And then if I push, is that pawn, like, going to get trapped? Boom. 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 I think I might be safe. Let's go for it. I think that I'm going to be able to blockade it with my king. And if he steps one square further, he's not going to be able to defend it. And then I can even reroute the bishop after all of this and go for the trade. So that's going to be generally my game plan, is what is your pawn actually doing over here? I can also step forward and go for this bishop. I mean, I guess this diagonal is no longer super important for me, but I can go like this and kind of get active, get my queen on this square after the bishop trade. So I fairly like that plan. If he pushes, I'm literally just going to push again. Then he could do something like this and pin the pawn, and then it actually becomes a little bit tricky for me to hang on to everything. Because right now, I mean, it's just my king doing the defense on this side of the board. And I traded off my light square bishop for that knight, so he's got the bishop pair. But fret not. We're still going to be just fine. Still something like this is in the general game plan. And then, believe it or not, but stepping all the way back with the bishop at some point does make a fair bit of sense. So I think we're going to just go for this. I don't think... Okay, so he defends it with the king. So now that is no longer really an option. Challenging this. You know, I feel like I need some space for my king. So pushing this. If he pushes again, I'm fairly certain that that's going to be alright for me. What about boom, boom? Or just this. I don't actually know what to do. Let's here somehow. Boom, boom. Let's just bring a rook to the middle of the board because I don't know what else to do. Like, I'm not really sure what my pieces are supposed to be doing here. So again, if he pushes, I just step forward. If he launches this, I can take. Yes, there's this going on. But boom, boom. Which piece is going back? I'm not really sure. I think let's step forward with the rook, and kind of this is going to be the idea. And unfortunately, his king is on a light square, and he has a light square defender, so I'm going to have a really hard time actually ever attacking this king. So this pawn push, I just don't believe in it, because I can step forward. And if he pushes again, like, I don't think that pawn is going to be able to survive. And I do still have the idea of bringing something back this way. Like, this might even make a fair bit of sense. Just push this forward, and then kind of lock this down. I don't know. I don't think that I played this 100% accurate, but doubling up the rooks seems like a pretty simple plan. And, I mean, this rook is doing nothing. Just this rook alone is not super scary, so I'm not actually really afraid. These pawn pushes, I just don't think they're going to work, because I just step forward. And then I got like a diagonal pawn cube. I'm telling you, bro, this pawn cube, it's hard to crack. 4 pawns in a cube, pretty ridiculous. Because I can just always continue to make pawn moves, and they're always defending each other. It's actually like almost a stronger pawn structure than just like 4 pawns. As long as you got some reinforcements for the back the back 2 pawns, then you're pretty much good to go. We could even go like boom, 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 and then have a diagonal pawn structure. The cube, but spread out. And our opponent is just sinking in the tank. And so I feel quite positive about him taking all this time. What if he just launches forward? I mean, I feel like I would just have to take at that point, correct? Fair enough. We're going to just push this. Generally, we're just going to say, what are you doing, bro? The reason we're pushing this pawn is because the bishop saw it. And so now it's scooted forward. This is, a relatively solid structure on this side of the board. I'm a little bit nervous about bringing my knight back. Because, then my king is cut off. So it looks like he wants to get in. Boom. Boom. I don't know what to play. This isn't going to work. But if I step back and play it, and then he pushes, it does work. And then I can step up, but then he gets this. What if I think a defensive knight is going to be the best plan. My knight is at least defending. The drawback of that is that my king is so trapped. This file could kind of easily become opened. But like I said, pushing this pawn, I push forward. And you have a problem pushing this because I can capture this at that point. So probably I'm going to bring this other rook over here is going to be my next step in the plan. That way I'm just really applying pressure to this open file. It kind of pins this bishop and makes this pawn push really difficult because I'll just capture and then capture this with check. And if he ever pushes this pawn, not only that, then the king and the queen are kind of on the same file. So almost... So that's basically just going to trap my bishop. I could step back. Step back. He does this, but then I just kind of maintain. I think we're going to go for this. If he goes for the little pawn break in the center, then he's got a weakness, and I'm actually kind of okay with that. Yeah, so I just step back. Right? Because we want to maintain this diagonal, essentially. If this pawn push ever happens, we can just play forward and then get my queen active. So this kind of sucks that my queen is stuck essentially behind my bishop, but I feel like we're probably going to trade that off at some point. And with 1 minute and 20 seconds on the clock, let's just take a quick look at this guy's profile. He doesn't even play bullet, and he's not that great at blitz. So when I see that I have 3 minutes and 40 seconds against 1 minute, I get pretty confident because, bro, if you don't play bullet, what are you going to do when the clock gets low? Because there are skills in bullet that you only develop playing bullet. You can't reasonably foster your bullet playing abilities by playing a bunch of rapid games and getting to the point where you have 30 seconds. You have to play bullet to get those skills because the amount of time that it would take to play 100 bullet games resulting from the rapid games. Do you see what I'm trying to say here? You would spend 20 minutes just to get to the point where you both have hardly any time. So that move makes a lot of sense. So I think we're going to just stick with my game plan. Ball back in your court, buddy. We're going for this. He could launch a full-out attack on this side. That move makes sense. This isn't really going to work. I'm not sure what my knight is trying to accomplish. I could also go for this pawn break. Does that do anything? Not really. Does stepping forward do anything? It maybe induces this, but I'm not convinced that's a really great idea. So what if we just jump in with a knight? The real question is what is this knight doing? These guys are chilling. The king is more or less chilling. If he plays this and I push forward, this is pinned. He could go like this, play here. What if I just push now? And if he takes them... Actually, you know what? I don't want to do that because he captures and opens up the file. So, knight here. Man, I'm getting sandwiched. I don't know what to play. What about pushing? Because he can't take, or I'll take this guy. So what about push, then push. Then if he plays this, I go here. I got a spread out. A spread out pawn cube. What on earth? And my knight sucks, dude. Maybe like that is the new idea. Actually, now that this pawn is there, getting my knight to this square might not be such a stupid idea. Okay. But the whole idea was to push. Was it not? We push. Capture, capture, capture. Let's just go for it. And this is one of these captures that he has to play something. So, what's better? Let's be accurate. For one, I can take with the pawn, and that's kind of like a tempo winning move. But that kind of opens up this file when that rook comes. So let's do this. He takes, and I finally get my queen to do something in the position. 23 seconds. We are playing 5+5. I should always mention that at the beginning of my videos. Is like, what time control are we playing? Because I change it like every time. So he steps back. There's no rush. I think let's just be accurate and step forward. Still, this is not going to work. That doesn't work, right? I'm telling myself that, but I'm actually not 100% sure. We push forward. Check. We step over. We can grab this. We could just trade everything down. Definitely we are not going to allow this. So I think we have to push. Check. We step over. Then he plays this. Let's take this guy first, because what we're worried about is this diagonal all of a sudden, right? So, capture, capture, but then I save the bishop. He gets a draw. Like here, here. We give him up, but then he gets this check, and then I step up. He would have to recapture. I could give this check. That's worth at least noting. Oh, dear Lord. This is a crucial situation. I think let's just take this first. If he pushes forward, I step over. This is defended. If he steps in, I step up. He gives this check. Okay. Also, we can give this check. So that's kind of just like a tempo winning move right there. Then we just trade this off. He's still got this check. But we push forward. Now this is weak, but the queen is getting ready to at least participate. So I can step over. But then he pushes, check. I block. I think I step over. If I step up, he's got this. So let's blockade it with this. If he goes for a pawn push, wow, I need to be looking at the clock. He wants to play that. Okay, cool. I think we just get active with queen. We're threatening this guy. We're threatening this guy. $20. Oh, dear Lord. If he gets in, what is he threatening? I've got this. Right? Does that give a check? Has to be winning, right? Let's just shuffle around a little bit. Just give another check. I don't really know what to do. We attack this. He can't play this. It doesn't work. I'm attacking this. He defends. We give this check. 17 seconds. check here, here. Am I just winning or am I stupid? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Let's just trade like this. I'm going to go down a pawn. We then defend. What a crazy situation. We then grab this. Up a pawn. Yikes. I can step up and we're chilling. We're going to defend like this. And I can grab this pawn. This is an important moment of the game. I can also do something here, but let's just grab a pawn when we can. Up 2 pawns, and the plan is to somehow figure out how to trade these rooks. I can also get behind these pawns. So I think that he has to step away. We can grab yet another pawn. And he can't get in. Oh dear Lord. And so there was tactics here when the rook was looking here. Like if I ever tried to get away from being on the side of the board, he was going to be able to capture this because then this pawn would be pinned if my king was here. Like when the rook was here, my king was here. I could never step over because that whole nonsense. So, wow, that was a crazy game of chess. 5 plus 5 really is a little bit longer of a game than you would think. It is not 10 minutes. That was like 18 minutes of chess. And so let's check this with the computer. I've started doing something new in the analysis. And we run the computer analysis while I look at the game. So we check at the end how accurate it actually was. We can make a guess together as well. So Caro-Kann, Tartakower variation, bada boom, bada bing, develop the bishop, castle. Then I'm supposed to scoot the rook over. I know that, and I still don't play it. So like that's what studying openings does for you. I know it's the best move, and I forgot to play it for like 4 moves. So we get the pawn cube, rook over, completely equal position. Now it's saying just capture, but pushing forward is also just as fine. I mean, they're like generally equal. We develop some stuff. Rook to the middle. A little bit of an inaccuracy. And the sacrifice here does work because take, and you can't take because it undefends this. Oh, that's so simple. Literally, I can just take here. You can't take with the king because the queen is looking, and if you take here, then I get in with check. Or, I mean, I get in and get the bishop. So, okay, there was a tactic. I missed it. Definitely that drops a couple percent accuracy. The same tactic is still here. Just remove the defender of the bishop. I am attacking the bishop. That's pretty simple. I don't know how I didn't see that. Still there. Stepping back. Stepping back. Man, it was there the entire game, and I never saw it. So that's a little bit sad for me. Every single move is going to be a blunder because of that. Even here, I can take, but then my rook just gets in. And I'm just winning. For 1, I'm threatening this. For 2, this guy is pinned. And not only that, if I take with the bishop, then my queen is getting in. So rook sacrifice for the bishop to open up the position. I don't really like making moves like this because I screw them up later on. Like, this is the best move if you play decently accurate after that. And sometimes that just doesn't happen for me. So we trade like this. Develop the knight, all decent. And white is just losing. We take. Knight to the middle with check. We trade this off. Yet another blunder. Oh, dear Lord. We then push forward. Inaccuracy. This game is just smattered with mistakes. Completely equal here if he goes for this, because generally he's going for this check. And if he gets this check on this diagonal, well, I have to bring the queen, but then he could like pin the queen or something. No, he couldn't. This is the best move. It's equal, but he makes this move, and all of a sudden it's not equal. My queen gets active. I'm attacking the rook. He's got to move the rook. This makes sense. The pawn is pinned. We attack the queen. Okay. We go here. Check. Up. Here I was just kind of like trying to farm some time because I was in low time. He has to defend. Check. Over. And I just go for a queen trade. So in this position, for 1, I can just grab this pawn. I can go here and with the idea of bring this guy, and that actually becomes quite scary. So we're making way for the rook getting in. But I just wanted to trade the queens because, I mean, that queen was kind of scary. This whole situation was a little bit scary. So we trade, step forward. We're good. You have to defend with the pawn. And this is the tactic that I was talking about. I can never go anywhere on this file because you can just capture this pawn. And that sucks. So We grab a pawn, we take the rook, we grab another pawn, and then at this point I have a 3-on-1 rook, but I also have a rook, and then a 3-on-3. And not only that, this guy can't even come forward. Like, this is covered by the rook, pawn, pawn. So he can't even come forward, which sucks. Like, if he could somehow get his king here, then it becomes harder for me to win. But, okay, what do you guys think? I think probably like 78, 74% accurate. Let's see. 77. Okay. I was actually pretty close. 6 blunders. But every single one of those blunders, so that was super, super inaccurate. But if you just forget about, where is it? If we just forget about all of these moves, because these are all blunders, like every single move, from the moment he puts his bishop here. So this move is a blunder. This move is in inaccuracy. This move is a blunder. This move is a blunder. This move is in inaccuracy. This move is a blunder. So and then this is a mistake. So basically all of my moves were bad because there was this in the position. So if we just forget about that one tactic, more or less it was fairly accurate of a game. But I mean, yeah, I completely missed sacrifice to remove the. What even was it, bro? I sacrificed the rook to remove the defender to just get active. There was that, and then there was also grabbing the pawn to remove the defender. And not only that, it's actually pretty bad. So like boom, boom, and then I'm just in attacking this and attacking the queen. And no matter what you do, so like say you defend, well then I just get in. And not to mention, I'm supporting this for my queen. So man, that would have just been winning on the spot, and I missed it like 17 moves in a row. Okay, not really that many, but thank you so much for watching my video. Sorry, my mouth is watering. You guys are the best. If you made it this far, I love you, and please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.